from Gloucester, Massachusetts. So great to be here. And as everyone got the agenda, I kind of sent some things out, information about that. So I think we're just going to start by going alphabetical order, including everyone here, because we have the participants. We have a couple folks from Project Adventure that are working with us. We have Amit, who's with the OIC group, and myself, and we have, of course, the one and only Jack Kavanaugh. So what I'd like to do, so who would, given the people by their first names, who should be going first to introduce themselves?
As Jonathan said, I'm from the Himalayas, and because I'm a rebel, I came to America for education and left my home country because of the education there. And I wanted to learn about myself, more about emotional intelligence. And somehow I found Jonathan through a mutual friend, because he does everything I want to do in life, leadership, consultation, and yeah.
I guess I'm next, but I have to. I'm not going to introduce myself because I already have done that ad nauseum. But I have to admit, Jonathan does everything I want to do in life. I have to comment on that because I cannot agree more. That is probably the best description of Jonathan I've ever heard in my life. Yeah, he does. This is his life. He gets to do this all the time. Plus, he lives by the sea in this beautiful house. And yeah, who wouldn't want to be Jonathan? I love that.
Okay, thank you. Deborah, any more about you though? What are you looking forward to?
I'm just this was such an angsty year for me because I was so upset about the way that we had to end the year for the class of 2020, and I was really upset and worried we weren't going to be able to have a class of 2021 because I didn't know if any venues were going to be open. I didn't know if any companies were going to be willing to send anybody. So the fact that you're all here just means so much to me, and I'm just really looking forward to spending the next 9 months with you and getting to know all of you, and we're going to have a good experience for you. So thank you all for being here. I do very much appreciate your time today and your willingness to be in the program and for stepping up to be in it. So thank you all.
My name is Diane DeLisa, and I'm currently the corporate writer for Concurrent Technologies Corporation. It's a research and development firm in Johnstown, mostly government contracts at this point. I've also had marketing communication roles at Conemaugh Health System, and I started my career as a news producer and director at WJAC TV. And I am old enough to remember when Gunter first started, and every year whenever the class is announced, I always have a little bit of jealousy, like, oh, I'm not in that class. But truly, my job title doesn't include supervisor, manager, director, or anything like that, but I do lead a lot of projects, a lot of project teams, and I'm really looking forward to learning and growing and meeting all of you and learning from you all. And like Diane, I jump at any chance I get to give back to my community. And now that the kids are, I'm an empty nester as of last year, I have more time to do that. And I'm on the Symphony Advisory Board and the Foundation for IUP, my alma mater's board of directors. And I'm just jumping at any chance I can to help my community of Johnstown. And I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Beautiful, thank you.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
My name's Emily Steberger. I also work at Advanced Shipping Technologies because one Emily wasn't enough.
All right.
They had to have two. I've been here just shy of 2 years. I work in the solutions department with Emily Hoffman. Before I came on board to Advanced Shipping, I actually was a teacher. I have an elementary ed degree and a reading specialist degree.
So good morning. I'm Jen Weiland. Apparently, I also have some technical difficulties, although I thought I was fairly decent with technology. I supervise at MetLife. I am the licensing supervisor. So I oversee a team that ensures broker credentialing is in place before we appoint them to sell MetLife business. I've been there for 8 years now. Part of the programs through our leadership at MetLife, seen a lot of great results results in people's confidence, personal life, and career-wise. I think that it's a great program to learn how to better yourself personally and in your career, and truly that's what I want to get out of it. Enhance public speaking skills, leadership skills, and to be a little more involved in the community, because since I've had little ones, I've had to take a step back from that for a while.
Hey, I'm Jessica Webb. I am a supervisor in the loan administration department at Ameriserve Bank. And I have to say, I have absolutely no idea what to expect but good things, except good things from this program. I'm so grateful to be a part of it. I'm looking forward to learning. I'm looking forward to serving the community, especially because I grew up here and moved away and actually relocated back here about 7 years ago. My dad loved Johnstown, and growing up in Johnstown, I would say, I don't get it, I don't understand, you know? So I'm so excited. As I've moved back here, I'm seeing it through different eyes. I'm excited to keep seeing it through different eyes and doing great things to change people's perspectives. Maybe when they come back and they say, what was wrong? You know, why would I ever leave?
Great stuff. Thank you, Jessica. Jay. Okay, I guess it's me, right? So Jonathan Golding. I was born and raised down in North Carolina, in Charlotte, North Carolina. Moved up to Madison, Wisconsin, and worked up there. Moved to Santa Fe, New Mexico, and worked out there. Moved to Cambridge, Massachusetts, and lived there. And then finally, I found my home, which is one thing I like working about John B. Gunther is the notion of transition, because you can't have a new beginning unless something ends. So the whole idea is what needs to end to start a new beginning, and what is that feeling like between the trapeze bars, so you're kind of in that space of uncertainty, and I would certainly think that this, since February or March, this has been a lot of uncertainty, so as somebody who works with leaders, I like to talk about how do you live with ambiguity, and for the people that we supervise and who work with us and for us on our teams, what can we give them to depend on? Is it almost time for the big reveal?
Almost time. We should be cutting triangles in our edges. Hold up your little folded piece of paper. Ooh, some of them look pretty similar. And on 3, let's go ahead and unfold. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
They're a lot closer than last time.
Let's just talk about the contrast between the two and how that might apply to working together as a team, working together on your projects, being accountable, getting results, over communicating. So who can share some observations between round 1 and round 2, please?
Communication is key.
And to me, it reminds me of my 2 jobs that I've had. One, I had a boss that I was completely intimidated by, and she'd tell me to do something, and I go, I must know how to do this. I don't know how to do, and I inevitably fail a lot. And the current boss I'm very comfortable saying, what do you mean by that? And do you mean this and that? And then we come up with a good product almost all the time. That's what it reminded me of.
I'd like to meet the person that you're intimidated by, Diane.
Pardon me?
I would like to meet the person that you're intimidated by.
No, you do not.
Yeah. Other thoughts?
I liked how the different views, when she said even just hold it down, which way, like everybody saw a different perspective of something of the directions when she said it. So I thought that was neat. Everybody had their own idea.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Tanya, Tim?
I think it's unique how, even though we went step by step and I even asked questions and things, they still didn't come out the right way, Not that they're wrong, they're just not the exact copy.
You're right, and that's a good point, because, no matter how good we communicate and most effectively communicate, there's still that margin where it may not come out just right. You may not be in exact alignment. So, check, double check, check, double check. Right.
And I think too, because we're still not, in person doing this, you don't know what's going on below that camera. You know what I mean? You can't still get that connection and that communication of real life.
Well, and I think that also underscores the point about how important body language is, for communication, that words count for a small percentage of it, tones count for a percentage of it, but your body language is a huge part of communicating a message. So, great point.
I think it would have been interesting to do it a third time and have her show us how to fold it.
Oh, do the visual.
Yes, because
Yes.
everyone's learning style is different. So like, I guess what this shows is that even in text and email or on the phone or on video, like your message can still get interpreted differently.
Yes, yes.
But if you're in person and you're showing someone, like sometimes that's like the final icing on the cake to get your message across.
So Mike, do you think that would be helpful?
Yeah, I'm more of a visual person. There was too much going on, too many questions, didn't know what the hot dog thing meant, didn't want to be the guy asking too much, so just kind of went with it.
Yeah. No, but Emily, you're right. I mean, being in person, there's nothing that can beat that in terms of modeling the behavior. When we talk about managers, good managers and supervisors and directors, we talk about the notion of you model the behavior that you want. I'm sorry. You model the behavior that you want to see in others. So if you want them to be on time, you be on time. If you don't want them to talk behind people's back, you don't talk behind people's back. So you model the behavior you want to see in others, because our team should be able to look at us and get an example of what accountability and effective communication looks like in real action. That's part of modeling behavior. I mean, because it's whether you're a role model whether you like it or not. I remember. So I work at the Basketball Hall of Fame. Someone mentioned basketball earlier, and I was out there when Charles Barkley got inducted into the Hall of Fame, and you read about Charles Barkley. At one time, he was going, "I'm not a role model for anybody," right? And we didn't have a chance to have this conversation, but my point on that was, well, Sir Charles, you are a role model whether you like it or not. What you do and what you say sends messages to other people. So, and so as leaders, we need to all be conscious of what is the messaging that our words and our behaviors are giving to others. So great. What else? Other thoughts? Oh, this is how it works. I'll ask a question, then you answer, respond to it. That's how this kind of is set up. So.
For me, I just think it's important to ask questions. I know when I first started that I thought it'd be frowned upon if I asked too many questions.
Mm-hmm.
But I learned over the course of time that it's better to ask questions. Even if it's going to take longer, it's better to ask questions and get it done correctly than to try to hurry through something not knowing completely everything, that you need to do just to have it in the end not be correct. So.
Absolutely. And part of it is the use of words too. It's like, instead of saying, "What do you mean?" Right? Mm-hmm. You say something like, "Hey, help me understand." Help me understand is a great question. Help me understand. So it's not about their communication style to you. It's your ability to interpret and to learn. So help me understand is a great question, as opposed to, "What do you mean by that?" So yeah. Other thoughts? Okay.
I would say, there is some risk taking in asking questions because it's a kind of vulnerability. Like it's showing to others that you don't understand or something that maybe you think you should or others do. So I think one of these for me is the idea of taking risks, and especially in the context of these programs when we get together and exercises, because it's intended for learning. There's not a lot at stake. There's not a lot at stake in this. It's specifically designed for learning. The consequences of making a mistake in this will not result in the company losing money or being disgraced in front of a client.
I think, take that one step further, even when you're in a leadership position, to ask a question, when the people under you are around too, kind of put you in a vulnerable spot when you're expected to have the answers.
Deb, before we take a break, can you share your thoughts and observations on how this applies to projects going forward?
Yeah, I think this is a really good illustration of what can happen when teams don't communicate, because we have never had a project fail because they couldn't get the money or because they didn't have an idea. It's always been because the members couldn't communicate with each other. So we just encourage you, and we'll lead you through this on Monday and Tuesday, but you'll develop a team charter and team rules on how you're going to work together. And I just encourage you to follow that, because if you can, our whole program is based on communication, because we believe that if you can communicate, you can lead and you can accomplish anything. So basically every session that you're going to have from now until the end of the program is based in some form on helping you express yourself to others or helping you understand how others are expressing themselves. So you're going to learn a lot about people's different styles in like followership and that sort of thing. And so by the end of this program, I think you're really going to have a much better understanding of people and how to interact with them. And I think that's really what sets our program apart from anything else. And I think this was although a simple exercise, I think it was kind of like a deep illustration of that, because look how simple it was and look how differently it got interpreted.
Yeah.
So I think that was really kind of eye-opening.
Well, thank you. So we're going to take a break now, and I think in the email I said it's going to be 6 minutes. We have a little bit of a time squeeze, so let's just take a 4-minute and 30-second break, okay? And so we'll gain that extra 45 seconds or something like that.
I think
90 seconds.
4:15 is better.
Okay, Jack, you come back at 4:15. We'll see you here at 4:30. So, so be on time, because that's one of the good rules for being a good team member. And we'll see you back here in 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Okay. Say goodbye to everybody for a minute. Bye. Bye.
Larry. I think you're muted.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry about the recording. Has that?
I just want to honor our time, but I'd like to honor our time by just going around and hearing from the participants in terms of closing comments. So it's a chance to hear from everyone here on just how you want to close out our time together today. So who'd like to go first?
I'll go first.
Thank you,
I just wanted to, again, thank everyone for the opportunity. I don't care how old you are, whether you're a child starting, kindergarten, or you're an adult, you're nervous. But it was these different days that we've spent together has really gotten us, given us an opportunity to get to know one another. And it's starting to make me feel more comfortable. So I'm really looking forward to this year.
Thank you. Thank you, Diane. Okay, take it, Mike.
Okay, yeah, I think it was a good warm-up. I'm excited to get in person because nonverbals on the Zoom stuff, it's tough. Can't really deal with it. So looking forward to Monday and Tuesday, but yep, thanks everybody.
Perfect. Who's up?
I'll go.
Okay, take it, Tim.
Sorry about that. No, just a great meeting. I think we did a little breakout session. It was pretty cool. We definitely took some pressure off of all of us and really threw some good ideas around. So pretty neat.
I'm excited. I really got me excited to get into the groups and talk about the projects, and I'm just happy to be here and like everybody in the group.
Okay. Thank you, Emily.
I just thought, I'll go, sorry. I just thought it was great getting to know everybody. We're pretty much all in this together where it's a new thing for us. So that's kind of neat. And I'm excited to, start working on these group projects.
Great.
One of my main goals in this whole program was to learn, and it already started today. I'm already jotting down notes of things that I can use in real life. So thank you.
Thank you. Who's up?
Today wasn't anything but I was expecting. It was so much more awesome. So I appreciate everyone's time and everyone's sharing. So thank you.
Yeah, I'll go next. So I just, again, want to echo the same thing I said before. I just appreciate everyone being very open and just sharing things about yourselves, because I think that's really what helps people grow together. So I'm grateful for that experience today.
I'll follow up with that. That our first meeting, Deborah, everyone was so quiet. And I remember someone there said, "This is the most quiet that you'll be at any of these meetings." And I kind of was unsure. But after today, I'm really excited to get to see everyone in person again. Like you said, Mike, it's hard on Zoom. But I think everybody did a really good job. And I appreciate everybody sharing. I feel like I know you all already, and I'm excited to get to know you all better. So thank you.
I'll go next. I agree with everyone. Today was great, just getting to know everybody, and definitely look forward to in person on Monday and Tuesday. It'll be a good time.
Beautiful. Thank you. Jessica Webb.
Just to add to what everybody said, I personally enjoyed today. Again, very excited about the program. I also wanted to say, I don't know if it's the group, I don't know if it's the format, I don't know what it was, but I feel like everyone is instantly comfortable with each other, which is very nice. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody in person. I think our initial anxiety is gone, so now we can get face to face and get to know each other even better. So thank you very much for today. Have a great day.
Thank you so much. Whose name starts with K?
Isha, yeah, I agree with Jess. It was nice getting in the small groups and talking to everybody, and a lot of us have the same common interests and ideas flowing, so that's nice to see.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. Anyone else? All right, let's move to Camille, Amit, and Larry. Would you mind sharing your thoughts and closing comments?
Sure. Thank you all so much for welcoming us into your group. It was wonderful to spend some time with you and get to support as you're creating this community together. It's always a lot of fun to help folks come together in the virtual space, because we come in with these preconceived notions of, oh, another Zoom meeting, and being able to interact and have some good discussions and conversations makes a big difference.
Thank you.
Great. Yeah, I'll say I appreciated a lot of the insights that came up in those small groups and were shared out. The notion of fun and celebration, I think, can't be understated. There's a certain heaviness in this time of pandemic where almost what I'm seeing is people are so preoccupied in making sure everything's safe and and things are organized. It's just that there's a lot of weight there, and it can squeeze out the fun. I listened to my son's convocation for college this year, 70 minutes. I don't know what inspired me, but there was not a shred of humor in 70 minutes of convocation, and I was just beside myself. I thought, wait a minute. So enjoy yourselves, and certainly I think this is a great start around people getting to know each other, ready to be vulnerable. So honored to be part of the process.
Thank you, Larry.
Yeah, for me, I love listening to everybody's stories and where they come from, who they are, and it just shows me the cultural diversity. I mean, compared to me, and because you guys are all living in like a different state, and I look forward to meeting you all in January for sure. Thank you so much.
And I too just want to say thank you. We're kind of all we're in uncharted waters, right? And that's where innovation and creativity, really pops in. So I just appreciate able to put this together, and I want to just pass off closing comments to Deb because she's really not only the link to this, but she's really the mastermind behind it all and the glue that holds it together. So Deborah, take it away.
Thank you, Jonathan. And I will be brief because in the interest of time, but I wanted you to know, I will send you an email probably later tonight. I have to leave here right now and go to Greensburg for kind of an important mission. But I'll send you the details for Monday and Tuesday, probably tonight. But thank you, Jonathan and Camille and Larry. I have to tell you, I never in a million years would have agreed to do a virtual team building session if not for my complete trust in Jonathan, because I just never thought that something like that would have worked. But this has been wonderful. It has completely exceeded my expectations, like I can't even tell you. I do feel like this was a fantastic start, so I think you're going to be able to hit the ground running on Monday. I cannot wait for you to meet John Skelly. You're going to love him. We're going to lead you through selecting your project. We'll probably do a little bit more of the team building things just to, get everything moving in the morning. But the only thing that I want to end with is, just based on the discussion here today, is one of our most important rules for this entire program is to keep confidences. You've already seen today what people will share, and they share some meaningful and very deeply personal things. And things that they don't necessarily want their coworkers or their bosses to hear either. So please be open with each other, but also know that it's kind of it's a safe environment for you to share in. That's the most important thing to us. With that, I'm sorry, go ahead, Jonathan.
Just add one thing onto that. Because
Sure.
first of all, thank you for that. It's important that it's fine to talk about your own experience, but just don't talk about other people's experience. And I think
Exactly.
that's where you're going with that too, because
Yes, or at least anonymously anyway.
Yeah.
But with that, I want to let you all go because I know we kept you a little bit past the end time, but this has been fantastic. I have enjoyed this so much. I'm really looking forward to getting to work with you all throughout the coming year. So again, please at any time, if you have questions, please email me. I will be sending my cell phone number out to you all tonight in case you need to get in touch with me on Monday. But other than that, have a fantastic weekend, and thank you all so much for your participation here today. It really was wonderful.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Good,
you.
good being with you.
Great
Bye
to meet
now.
you all.
Thank you.
Bye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.